Yes, guys, excited to bring you this one. So, before you can change your financial destiny, you're not going to be able to improve your financial situation on a long-term sustainable basis unless you first really understand what your specific financial blueprint is, and that's what I want to take you over today. Okay? So, the first thing we need to get super clear on is knowing your current reality. Okay, so where are you at financially? What is your financial thermostat? What is your relationship like with money? And then just thinking about what are the blockages that you have inside of you that are actually restricting your ability to make and or keep money. Okay, so like very easy to see where you are financially. You just go and look at your bank account. Okay, do you have the money in there that you want to have in there? Okay, are you financially stable? Do you feel secure within that? Okay, what is your financial thermostat? What's your lower financial thermostat? What is your higher financial thermostat? Okay, knowing what you're kind of bouncing in between, and everybody's got it. You're going to have a certain amount of money where, you know, that's like kind of like the floor, and that's kind of like the minimum you get down to. Like some people even get down to almost having like zero, and then they go into panic mode, and then they go out and they take action and they do what they need to do and they get money back up. Or maybe like people have got a job and they get paid at the beginning of the month and they're here, and then as the money goes down throughout the month, and then they get an increase, and then it goes down, and then they get paid and it goes back up, and they bounce in between it. Okay, your relationship with money, what is that? Do you have a belief system that money is hard to make, that you've got a hustling grind? Is there like some type of hero complex that you've got where you feel like you have to go through obstacles and challenges in order to make money? Do you think that money is the root of all evil, and that you've got a bad subconscious programming installed in you by family or, you know, your community or whatever it may be? And then just really starting to think about what are the blocks that you've got inside of you that are restricting. Like if you're not making the money that you want to make right now, what is the reasons for that? It may not be on your skill set. Okay, you may have the skills required to make the money that you want to make, but if your beliefs and if your programming isn't on par with that, then it's very fucking difficult to make the money. Okay, so many people have a program that they're running from their past, and it simply does not support their present day goals and their aspirations within the business. Okay, and this may be true for you. Okay, and this program is completely controlling your financial destiny. Okay, it's all subconscious. Okay, and if you've got this installed belief from like your family, for example, that, you know, wanting money is a bad thing, that, you know, rich people are bad and they're exploiting people, and to want money is to be greedy, and there's no way of getting a lot of money without exploiting the vulnerable people, like whatever it is. Okay, but if that's the program that you've got, then making money and keeping money, virtually impossible for you. Okay, what you do need to understand is that we live in an economic society, okay, and money is very important, and the absence of money will cause stress, resentment, but it also means that you have to make many compromises and sacrifices in your life because you lack financial resources. Okay, and if you've ever had a lack of money and you've had to make sacrifices and not been able to do the things that you want to do because you haven't had the money, then you will know exactly what I'm talking about here. Okay, so understanding your money programming. Okay, so this training is going to help you to increase your financial thermostat. Okay, it's going to help to reprogram your negative attachments to money, and it will help you to live life to your full potential whilst making a lot of money, which hopefully is what you want. Okay, so when you hear the word money, what is your first reaction? Okay, how does it make you feel? Okay, does it make you feel uncomfortable? Does it make you feel stressed? Does it make you feel like you're in lack? Or you haven't got it and you need it? And I want to make money, I have to make money. Okay, or does it make you feel good? Do you feel at peace? Do you feel abundance? Okay, so you just really want to just take a moment, okay, and just think about, like, when you think about money, when you hear money, what's your first reaction? Okay, how does money actually make you feel? Okay, just take a moment just to consider that. Okay, and if you need as I go through the rest of this training, when I ask specific questions, if you need to pause the training and to sit and write some stuff out or to consider what I'm talking about, then that's absolutely what you should do. Okay, so I'm just going to go through it relatively quickly, but it's down to you to pause it and kind of do the work and reflect on what I'm asking you. Okay, so the first point is just, when you hear money, what's your first reaction? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? Okay, and just get present with that. So shifting your perception. Okay, so money, look, the reality is a powerful thing, and it can have a profound impact on your life if you can begin to master it. Okay, and that is if you can begin to master it. Please understand that money is nothing more than a means of fair exchange for buying goods and services. That's it. Okay, it's neither good nor bad. It's just a tool to use in the world that we live in now. Okay, so previously people used to barter for goods. So, somebody had eggs, somebody had vegetables. Do you know what I mean? Somebody had, a blacksmith, and somebody had, cleaning service, or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you've just got to think about the way that we used to exchange goods and services has changed a lot. Money only exists to human. We're the only people that play the money game. And it's been created because it's a very fair way for us to navigate the world that we live in. Okay, so things are priced accordingly. So, the way that people used to barter for, like I said, like eggs or apples or some shit like that, like, you wouldn't be able to do that now. You wouldn't be able to get somebody that has their own fruit and veg stand in a market to go and do a fair trade with a laser eye surgeon. Do you know what I mean? Because the price of the fruits and veg compared to the price of having laser eye surgery, significant difference. Okay, so money was invented as a means of fair exchange within the financial world that we live in now. Okay, so if you can master money, then you can have the freedom that you want. Okay, you can have the lifestyle that you want, and you can support your family the way that you want. Okay, there shouldn't be too many negative attachments to money as long as your intentions are pure. As long as you're not here ripping people off, as long as you're here with a good product or service that adds value to people, do you mean that, is what it's being marketed to be? Okay, the money that you're going to get, you can only get from other people. That's the only place you get money, from somebody else. And if you've got a fucking job, you know that you have to go to a certain location, and you have to work a certain amount of hours, and somebody tells you what you're going to get paid for each hour that you're working, or for every month that you're working. Okay, so everything's got a price. Okay, so what you want to do in order to create the freedom that you want is to create an impactful business. Okay, that's a high in demand skill that you have that adds value to other people, and by having the right intentions, you can charge in fair exchange. Somebody wants the service, you've got the skills and the knowledge and the expertise to help them. That's completely fair in fair exchange. So the only way you can master money is not to have any negativity around it. If you demonize it, if you've got money up on a pedestal, like, okay, let's look at it like this. If you've got money up on a pedestal, money is so important, and the absence of money is causing me so much stress. What you're basically saying is, like, I don't fucking have it, so it's outside of me. It's also very important, so it's up on a pedestal. Okay, and then you've just basically put yourself down in a pit. Okay, so it's external for me, and it's basically very important, and I don't have it. Like, what do you think the result of that kind of mentality is? It's not financial freedom. It's not financial independence, I promise you. Okay, so what I want you to consider is, what would your life actually look like if you had a lot of money? Okay, what would be the difference from your life that you live now to if you had a shit ton of cash? Okay, just pause the video and sit with that. Okay, and just go there, and if you had a lot of money, what would be different from the life you're living now to the life you would be living if you had a lot of money? Okay, and you had the financial resources to start living life the exact way that you wanted to live it. Okay, and just go and sit with that for a couple of minutes and really, really visualize it and experience it. So what we need to do is align you to your money desires. Okay, so in order to have the money that you like, you need to be aligned with that. Okay, so you're not going to earn 50k a month if your financial thermostat and your belief system and your program is set to 5k a month. Okay, it's not going to happen. Okay, so this is where a lot of people fuck up, is that they go in and say like, oh, I want to make like 10k. They come into the coaching space. I want to make 10k a month because that's the amount that everybody tells them they need. But they say, yeah, I want to make 10k a month. But throughout their life, they've been an employee, so somebody telling them what to do. As a child, they grew up and maybe their family didn't have a lot of money, and a lack of financial resources was the cause of a lot of stress, a lot of arguments. Just a lot of negativity attached to it. And then you've also spent like most of your adult life working for $2,000 a month. Okay, or we'll just say 5k a month in this instance. Okay, so if you've been earning 5k a month and your upbringing was that money's bad, and to want money is bad, and money is the cause of stress and problems and negativity, how the fuck are you going to get 50k a month? Because you're not set up for it. You're not aligned to those desires. Okay, so that's a conscious desire, 4%, trying to override a 96% subconscious programming. It's simply not going to happen. Okay, so what we first must do is align you to your money desires. Okay, and just understand, if you're living in scarcity, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, then constantly wondering how you're going to pay the bills, then you're not going to make more money, because you're not operating in a way that opens you up to make the money that you even want. Okay, so this is the thing. You have to be aligned emotionally, mentally, and physically to receiving the money that you want. Okay, and you only do that by reprogramming your subconscious and by increasing your financial thermostat and basically understanding what your financial blueprint is and doing the necessary work to get you where you need to get to make the money that you want to make. So something I just want to go over here and just touch base with. Look, I'm not from a family of money. I promise you that, okay? There was not a lot of money available, quite the opposite actually. So just to let you know, we were evicted from multiple homes. Multiple times. Bailiffs would be coming round threatening to take my parents' belongings because they hadn't paid certain bills. We were never really able to go anywhere, have vacations like my friends didn't have like the nice cars or houses that my friends did. Like, money was an absence, and it was a big void in my life. And basically that's the program that I took into my adult life. Okay, so I was living beyond my means, spending money carelessly. For those of you who know, like drink, drugs, just partying and all stuff like that. Living paycheck to paycheck, literally getting paid every Friday, and pretty much by a Sunday spent all the money. Never had any money saved up. Just as soon as I got it, I would spend it. Okay, and I took this even into the early stages of my entrepreneurial journey. Didn't make a lot of money, but also spent a lot of money. Okay, so needless to say, I needed to reprogram my relationship with money and re-establish my financial blueprint of what that was. Okay, so people, what they typically say is like, poverty is passed down from generation to generation. Okay, because it's all the programming. Okay, so you don't know this, but like when you're a kid, you're just observing things and you're just paying attention. And like I said, like money, beliefs, and the relationship with money gets installed in you at a very, very early age. And what happens is you witness negativity, you witness, certain things that cause like a negative association with money, and you basically adopt those subconsciously and you take it through your life with you. Okay, the same happens with and you've probably met this, people that are from wealthy families, but the person that you're talking to doesn't seem that intelligent, doesn't seem that switched on, but yet they've got money. And it's not because of their conscious thought. Like, you can tell they're a clown in how they show up in life. They're not that intelligent, but their programming of what the family that they've obviously grown up in and what they've witnessed, that is what's actually controlling their financial destiny, not their conscious thought, because their conscious thought was very present. And you can tell this person isn't any more equipped to have money. It's just on the subconscious what's going on. Okay, so improving your relationship with money. Okay, so a great first step of increasing your financial thermostat and improving your relationship with money is to look at your money daily. Okay, now for some of you this is going to be very, very uncomfortable, but I don't care. Look at the money. Money pays attention to those who pay attention to money. Okay, so rich people look at their money, poor people avoid looking at this. Why do poor people avoid looking at their money? Because it stresses them, it makes them panic, and it makes them realize that they don't have it, basically, so they avoid looking. So I don't care, even if you don't have money to look at, I want you to look at your accounts daily. Okay, see what's coming in, see what's going out. Look at the flow of money. Okay, be present with that. Okay, be present with your current situation and stop living in avoidance. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're good at what you do. You can make a lot of money, but it's not about what you make, it's about what you keep and how you can grow it. So unless you do the work on your financial blueprint, nothing is going to change. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is really on a subconscious level do the work, and you've got the tools and the resources in this program to help you with this, but you've got to start to improve your relationship with money and drop any negative associations or attachments you have with it. And also give yourself permission not to speak to certain people who have bad money beliefs or a bad relationship with money. You've got to pull yourself away from that. Okay, so look, it's easy to say that I want to be rich and I want to make money. Super easy. Literally anybody can say it. But if your subconscious programming isn't programmed in a way that allows you to have that, then there's simply no way of you becoming rich. So your subconscious is 96, and that's 96% of everything that you do, and then 4% of conscious thoughts. Okay, and your financial desires is not enough to override 96% of subconscious programming. Okay, simple as that. You can say, I want to be rich and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and this is what I'm going to live my life like. Sweet. Love that. Amazing. Don't lose sight of that. But if your subconscious isn't aligned to that, if you're not congruent internally with your external desires, it's never going to happen. Okay, it's just a fantasy in your head that makes you feel good temporarily. Okay, so if you're currently frustrated and unhappy with your financial situation, good. This gives you the desire and the power to change something about it. To be honest, I want you to be pissed off. I genuinely do. I want you to step into this, I'll do whatever it takes to change my money situation type of attitude. Okay, get to work on your subconscious and on your money blocks. Okay, that's the first thing that we need to be doing. Okay, so how do we start to do that? Well, awareness is always going to be the first step in increasing your financial situation and your financial thermostat. So we first need to acknowledge that we have a problem, and we must begin the process of reprogramming our thermostat and our blueprint around money. Okay, so let's talk about what is your financial thermostat, because some of you may not have heard of it before, which is cool. So let's get into it. What is it exactly? Okay, so the first thing I want you to understand, we've got two. So you've got an income thermostat and you've got a net worth thermostat. Okay, so your income thermostat is how much you make each year. Your net worth thermostat is how much you're keeping and growing. Okay, so I want you to think about, when I go through this, there's always going to be two separate financial thermostats. Okay, you've got your income, what you're making, and then you've got your net worth, what you're keeping and what you're growing. Okay, so we first must increase your ability to make money, but also increase your ability to keep it and not fucking spend it all. Okay, so increasing your income and your lifestyle is great, but if you spend it all and you're not growing any wealth, it's kind of defeating the object, right? Do you mean, what's the point in making more money if you don't get to keep any more of it? Yes, you'll have an increased life experience, and I've lived this experience myself and had a big increase in the way I got to live my life and experience it. But if you don't have money being allocated responsibly, then what's it all for? Because you're not actually getting any wealthier, you're just being careless. So I've created a little diagram here just to really help you visualize, okay, your financial thermostat. Okay, so this is just going to be your income that I'm talking about here, not necessarily your net worth. Okay, so there's a lot of power in this, and in order to grow your net worth, you must first become with your income. It goes without saying. Okay, so what I want you to think about, you've got a floor and a ceiling. Okay, so you've got your upper and your lower financial thermostat. So even if you've got a job right now, the ceiling is when you get paid. The floor is basically the end of the month when you spent all your money throughout the month and you're looking to get paid. Okay, and if you go and look at your bank, you'll see that you go, let's just say you're making the 5k and then you go down to $500, okay? 5k down to 500, 5k down to 500, 5k down to 500, and you'll just see you're bouncing between this floor and ceiling. That is your financial thermostat, okay? And it doesn't matter what you say. Okay, so let's look at this like an actual thermostat that you've got in, like, for heating your house. If the financial thermostat is set at a certain amount, so let's just say you've got it set at like 29 degrees, okay, and that's just what it's set to. If the temperature exceeds that, the thermostat kicks in and brings it back down. If it drops beneath that, it kicks back in and brings it back up. So really, it's just oscillating either side of that. Okay, so there's going to be like a medium of where you're at. Okay, but what you want to understand is you can sit there and think, oh, it's 29 degrees, I want it to be 32. But unless you change the thermostat and how it's programmed, then nothing changes. So, okay, the thermostat represents your subconscious. You're thinking, well, I want it to be 32, not 29. Okay, well, that's not going to happen. Like, you got to get up, you got to go and change the thermostat. Okay, so you got to change the programming. Okay, so just a little visual for you. So you've got the two areas. Okay, so you've got the lower and the upper thermostat. Now, what you see there, I've broken the line. Okay, so as you start making money in business, you're going to break through the ceiling. Okay. But what will happen on a subconscious level, you've just basically gone past where you're programmed to. And you're basically going to kick back in and you're going to take it all the way back down. And then you may go back up and you may break it again. The job is, as you start to increase, and this is about increasing standards. That's what I want you to think about with your financial thermostat. It's all about increasing your standards and what your bottom line is. So when you take, let's just say you've got the 5K and the 500, okay? Then let's just say you make a 10K month. That's now the ceiling, okay? But you need to start to bring up the floor and your lower financial thermostat so that your bottom level is increasing as you're going up. So let's just say you was at the 5K to 500. Then it goes 10K to, 2K. Then it goes like 20K to 5K, like whatever it is, okay? You've got to be thinking about how you start to increase your standards. And the best thing is, like, you've got the ability and the skills to make more money. We know that. Okay, but it's your ability to increase your financial thermostat to match your new skills and your ability to pull more money out of the economy. So when we go to the upper thermostat level, you relax, you get comfortable, we're in flow, we feel abundant. But the thing is that level of comfort is what causes you to lose the motivation. You don't do the things that you were doing that actually made you the money. And because you go above your ceiling, you then spend money to get you back into whatever your zone is, okay? So when I say increase your standards, it's like, now I'm up there. You got to start to reprogram yourself subconsciously. This is now the standard. This is where I live. This is the lower. This is the upper. Okay, and this is what I always say to people. Every new level of your business requires a new level within you. What took you to 10K months is not going to take you to 50K months or even 30K months. Okay, you may get it on the off chance, but sustainably, consistently, time after time, it's never going to fucking happen. Okay, so this is what you need to do: increase your standards so that is going up with your income and your lifestyle. Okay. So again, you may be able to recognize this within your business. You have a record month, and then the following month is bad. Okay, why is that? Because you've exceeded where your upper thermostat is. You've got comfortable. You've lost maybe the same drive, the motivation. You weren't doing the same things. You weren't taking the same actions. You didn't have the same standards. And as a result of that, your money drops back down. Why is that? It's not your skill set. You know what to do. It's your thermostat subconsciously controlling you, bringing you back down to where it thinks you belong. So you've got to override the programming and then set new programming so that it supports you in your financial visions and your mission with your business, okay? But you've also got the floor, okay, which is your lower financial thermostat. When you start to approach this level with your finances is when you're going to go into lack, when you're going to go into scarcity, when you're going to start to tighten up the purse strings, okay, is when you're not going to be going out for the meals, is when you're not going to be spending certain things, is when you get very conscious and present with what you're spending and you're very mindful. Now that's not a bad thing, being mindful, but you don't want to go from being spend happy to all of a sudden in scarcity. You don't want to be going between that. You want to be trying to build an upward trajectory throughout your life, okay? So most people, and this is what you really want to understand, even successful people have a lower and an upper financial thermostat, okay, that they're going to bounce between. For some people, it's 10 million down to fucking 9 million. Like, they're bouncing there. For other people, it's literally like 0 to like fucking 3,000 or like 2,000. They literally spending their life there. Okay, so what you need to do is go and have a look at your bank and start to see what is your lower and what is your upper. What is your standards and what you're oscillating between, okay, and bouncing in between. Get very clear on that, okay? So look, when you've got money and when you've been paid, it takes you beyond your ceiling. This is when you're going to relax, become comfortable, and you're going to start spending money freely. And then you're going to slip and move closer and closer towards your floor. And you're going to start to feel it, and you're going to go into lack. So as you approach or hit your floor, you're going to spring back into action. You're going to work out a way to make money. You're going to make more money, and you're going to move yourself towards the ceiling again, your upper financial thermostat. And then you're just going to be in that cycle between bouncing between your upper and your lower financial thermostat. Okay, and you'll probably be able to see like exactly what I'm saying now being played out in your life for months, years, decades, like whatever it is, okay? So we've got to start to become aware. Again, awareness is the first step. So you need to go and have a look at what that is, and we need to start to set new standards. So even when you make money and it feels good in the body, which it does, so when you have a record month and you've made more money than what you've ever made before, it feels good. Like, I don't give a shit what anybody says, it feels good. Okay, you feel accomplished, you feel abundant, successful, you start feeling on top of things. Okay, so in the body, it feels good. But subconsciously, if it's above your programming, you will self-sabotage subconsciously, and you will get rid of the money, and you will move yourself back into your zone of comfort. Okay, so on a subconscious level, your lower financial thermostat is where you think you belong. That's why it's not until you get down to that point, it fucking kicks you in the ass, and you spring back to life, and then you go and do what you've got to do to make the money. Okay, and your upper financial thermostat is above where you think you belong, and where you don't feel like you deserve that, which is why you spend money, which is why you give it away, which is why you become a consumer, not a creator. Okay, this is why you're not keeping and growing the money that you're actually making. Okay, so as I said, go see for yourself, look at your bank, look at what your floor and look at what your ceiling is. It's very important that you understand this, okay, so you can start to raise it and begin to change your financial destination. You can't do this if you're in avoidance, okay? So stop being in avoidance, get present, start looking at it daily, even if it makes you uncomfortable. Remember, money flows to the people that pay it the most attention, okay? And if you're avoiding looking, how do you expect money to flow to you, okay? Why would money flow to somebody that's avoiding even looking at it, and it makes it feel uncomfortable? And when you do get it, because of the actions that you are taking, you're going to go and find ways to spend it and get yourself back down to being in lack and being in like, fuck, I haven't got the money again. Like, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay for this? Or have I got enough money to pay for this month? It's not a good place to be. So what are the ways that you can raise your financial thermostat? So as I start to go through this is when you're really going to start pausing the video and start answering the questions that I'm going to ask you, okay? So whenever you want to change something, you first need to be aware on what the problem actually is. Okay, so consciously acknowledging that what you want is first point, but understanding the unconscious beliefs or programming is where we need to go to. Okay, so your conscious desires of I want to make 50,000 a month is good, you need that, but it's not enough in itself. We need to tackle the subconscious and unconscious beliefs or programs that we've got. So what were the beliefs that you heard growing up? So in a lot of cases, negative beliefs or programs are going to be around money, aren't even ours, they're from our parents. Okay, so I want you to pause the video and really ask yourself that question. What are the beliefs you heard around money growing up? Okay, and just understand there are two ways beliefs get installed in us: a significant emotional event, big argument, heated discussions all around money, or affirmations. Your mum or your dad constantly basically drilling into you, money is bad, money is bad, money is evil, all of this shit, okay? So what are the beliefs that you heard growing up? Pause the video, go in, answer that question, and answer as many beliefs as you got. Don't leave any stone unturned here, okay? Let's really start to extract all of the negative beliefs or positive beliefs. There could be one or the other. Okay, but all of the beliefs that you heard around money growing up. Okay, remember, step 1 is awareness. Okay, so I want you to start answering these questions as we go through. Okay, so the first thing I would like you to do is complete this sentence 3 times over. Money is. And whatever comes to you when saying that, just write it down. Okay, so pause the video. Money is. And then 3 times over, answer that question. The second thing I want you to complete, again, 3 times over. Wealth is. And again, whatever comes to you, just write it down. Okay, so wealth is. Pause the video, answer that question. Complete this sentence 3 times over. Rich people are. Okay, so write down 3 answers to that sentence. Rich people are. Pause the video and write it down. Complete the next sentence. The reason why I cannot be financially wealthy is. Okay, and the reasons that I'm not financially wealthy is. Okay, so write down, pause the video and answer both of those questions. The reason why and the reason that you're not. What is that? Next sentence for you to complete. Some of the negative things about rich, or the negative things that can happen to me whilst pursuing wealth are. Okay, so what you want to think about here is the negative things about being rich that you've got stored. Okay, so fearing losing it, that's going to make you a bad person or make you greedy, like whatever it is. Okay, so what are the negative things about being rich, or the negative things that can happen to you whilst pursuing becoming wealthy? Okay, pause the video and complete that sentence for me, please. The next sentence. My greatest fears around money and becoming wealthy are. Okay, so I'd like you to pause the video, get very present with that, and what is your greatest fears around becoming wealthy and making money? Okay. And then complete this sentence. The worst thing about money is. Okay, so how would you answer that question? The worst thing about money is. And throughout that whole section, you take your time with the awareness section and just answer truthfully, not with what you think you should say, because you're in personal development and you think, like, what do you actually think? What is the true answer to each of these questions? Okay, we need to extract your true beliefs and your programming. We need to be able to identify and associate to the things that are actually blocking you off from the money that you want to make. And you're not going to be able to do this if you bullshit and if you try and cheat the process because you want to say things that you think you should be saying, as opposed to saying what is the truth to you. And your truth, not somebody else's truth, your truth. Okay, so if you need to, go back, go through each of the sections and get very, very clear on that, okay? Step 2 is all around understanding. Okay, so for many people, our parents and our upbringing have an enormous impact on our financial thermostat and where it's set. So when you can understand your ways and your thinking and become outside of you, you can then start to disassociate from them. Okay, so what we want to be doing is writing down everything you've heard or learned around money, wealth, and rich people when you were a child. Okay, so this is what we want to do. Describe your family situation and each parent's habits and the ways of thinking and being around money when you were growing up. Okay, and also describe who you might be more similar to or opposite to in those ways. Okay, so this is going to be, you're going to pause this video for a bit of time here, and you need to get present. You need to reflect back, okay, and really write down everything that you heard or learned around money, wealth, rich people when you were a child. Okay, and describe your family situation around money, or the absence of money, or the abundance of money, or the conversations, but also go back and really just reflect on your parents. Okay, so both your mum and your dad, and their ways of thinking and their ways of being around money and the things that you specifically witnessed. Okay, real life events that you witnessed around money. And then also just describe who you may be more similar to, okay, or opposite to, and in what ways. Okay, and you want to write down a description of an early emotional incident involving money. Okay, so think about an emotional incident. Remember, significant emotional events is one of the ways beliefs get installed. Then write down the conclusions that you came to as a result of this incident. How has this conclusion affected your life so far? So this is in two parts, okay? So the first part is going to be doing this, okay? So writing down this section here. And then the second point is going to be writing down a description of an emotional incident involving money and what your conclusions were and how that conclusion has affected your life. Okay, so that's done in two parts. Step 3 is about creating a disassociation. Okay, so this is where we can let go of our limiting beliefs. And you have, remembered all of the things that you've been taught growing up, and it's time to really disassociate from those beliefs. Okay, so at this point, all we've done is we've become aware and been able to, see it for yourself. Okay, so what we've got, again, just to go back, so step 1 was awareness, and we went through and we answered all of these questions. Okay, so we got very, very clear on what is our beliefs or associations around rich people, wealth and money, and why you can't be wealthy, and some things that you've been taught and your fears and the worst thing around it. And we've just got very, very clear. Okay, secondly, we've gone back and we've understood that. We've gone back to our childhood and we've seen where did our childhood experiences contribute to this way of being and this way of believing. Now what we need to do is disassociate. Okay, so you do this simply by just realizing and understanding that they only represent what you have learned. Okay, but that's not who you are. Okay, so disassociation is very important. So association is when you feel everything. Disassociation is when you push it out of you and you say that I am not that anymore. Okay, so we need to start to disassociate from this bullshit money programming you are running that is stopping you from achieving the things that you want in your life. So again, maybe you have made money, but then you keep spending it. Maybe you can't even make the money. You're blocked off that much by it. You can't even get what you fucking want. Okay? So we need to get clear of it, understand it, see where it came from, and now we need to disassociate. So write down the 3 biggest and most non-supported beliefs or fears that you have around wealth, success, and rich people. So write down the 3 biggest and most non-supportive beliefs that you have or fears that you have around wealth, success, or rich people. Prioritize that list 1 down to 3. Okay, pause the video. Please do that. Now what we need to do is write out what are 3 more empowering beliefs that you can adopt instead. So whatever these beliefs are, what would be the opposite to that? What would be more empowering that we can install instead? Okay, so you want to look at the non-supportive beliefs and fears that you have around money, realize how much they've impacted you in your life, and then just become frustrated by that. Begin to realize that they're not even fucking yours in the first place, they're your parents, okay? See how they're holding you back and see how holding on to these beliefs are the very reason you're in the situation you're in right now. And then begin to disassociate from them and see how ridiculous these beliefs are, how non-supportive they are, how they're not even yours. Okay, you've just adopted them because you've seen other people struggling with money, and now you've unknowingly taken that on and you've taken it into your adult life and into your business, and that's why you're struggling financially. Okay, so we want to disassociate with them. Okay, and start to really, really be fucking present with how ridiculous they are. Almost laugh about it. Okay, and really start to think about the empowering beliefs that you can have. Okay, step 4 is about declaration. So you need to declare who it is you want to be, how much money you want to be making. Okay, and that's what you want to do. I am whatever it is. This is how much I make. This is now my standard. Okay, so that's what we need to start to do, declaring who you're going to be, how you're going to show up, and how much money you're going to be making. Okay, so now is the time that we step into the new empowering beliefs that are aligned to your aspirations. So remember, significant emotional event and affirmations are the way that we can install new beliefs. So the significant emotional event, okay, was you realizing and getting pissed off or upset or resentful with the beliefs that you're currently running and the program that you currently have that are running you and are basically telling you or controlling how much money you either make or how much money you're keeping. Okay, and you're getting to the point of saying, you know what, enough's a fucking enough. Like, I'm fed up with this. This isn't how I want to live my life anymore. Okay, then what we do is we start to replace those beliefs with beliefs that can serve you better. So I've given you some examples here, but please go and make your own, and they've got to be true to you, and you've got to feel them. Like I said, you've got to emotionally feel these. Okay, so elevated emotion with specific intentions is how you start to manifest the things that you want in life. So you got to say money is easy to earn, and you got to say it with conviction and fucking believe it. Okay, money is very easy to make. I know I can be, I know I can do, and I know I can have whatever it is that I desire. So I know I can be, can do, and I can have whatever it is I desire. I can earn whatever I want and whatever I set my mind to. Everything is always going my way, and whatever I do, it opens doors for me. Money attracts to me easy and effortlessly. Money attracts to me every single day. I am wealthy in every way. Okay, so whatever these things could be for you, this is what we need to start to recreate. Okay, and I want you to emotionally feel it and say it with conviction and belief, and literally brainwash yourself into believing these things and feeling these things. Okay, so whenever you're creating new beliefs, you need to feel it. Don't just say affirmations, you need to feel them. Okay, you need to embody them and really take them on. Okay, and when you feel them, this is what's starting to change your vibrations around money. So think about it now. If you had 10 affirmations and you were going to repeat each affirmation 10 times over, so let's just say like, money is easy to earn. 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 You say that 10 times over, and you do the same for everyone else, and you do that 5 times a day. Think of how many times you are making these affirmations and saying it with conviction and fucking feeling it and actually believing it. Okay, this is where it's all about. So when you feel them, this is what changes your vibration and your energy. Okay, which then actually opens you up to, receiving, I should be receiving, not reciting, receiving what you want. Okay, it's super, super important. It's not just a case of being like, okay, consciously, I know I want to make this much money, and I can see that my parents have installed some bullshit beliefs into me, and that's not good, and I'm not really happy with that. But then I'm going to say these affirmations, but they're vague. There's no conviction in there. There's no belief there. There's no energy there. It's not going to change your vibrational energy at all around it, and you're never going to open yourself up to receive it. Okay? So in order to change your financial thermostat, you must change the program in which you are run by. Okay, so we must first increase your emotional bank account before you're ever going to get an actual increase in your bank. Okay? So you're not going to make 50k a month until your programming aligns you to making 50k a fucking month. Okay, you're not going to be able to have conscious thought of I want 50k a month, but being run by 96% of you're a 5k a month person. And that's just where we are. That's where we belong. Okay, just got to think about it logically and then start to do the work so that you can align to the things that you want. So we must change our beliefs, but you also must change your financial habits. Okay, the beliefs and the habits you have around money are what control your financial destiny. Okay, so we've got the strategic elements within this program teaching you what you need to do with money to make money. Okay, and then when you get it, how to allocate it so that you can actually start to build real wealth within your life. But that's not going to happen unless your beliefs are shifted. Okay, and you actually start to reprogram your subconscious of where you actually belong. Okay, so what are the empowering beliefs that you want to live by? What are the money habits of the version of you that's already created a vast amount of wealth? And you need to align your thinking with our emotions. Okay, so what are your beliefs? that you now want to live by, that are non-negotiable. This is just my identity. This is just who I am. This is just how I fucking show up. Okay, what are the money habits of the version of you that has created that? So think about it. Go and visualize like someone who's making 50k a month, and what would you be doing? Where would you be? How would you be feeling? And just go and fully live that experience, and then ask yourself an honest question. Like, what is that version of me doing that I'm currently not doing? Where's the disconnection there? Okay, where's the disconnect? And you just need to begin to align your thinking with your emotions. Okay, so winning the money game works like this. And this is pretty much the biggest reason why people do not achieve financial success, is because they don't know exactly what they want. Okay, so again, what is the exact amount of money you want to make? Exact amount. Like fucking $28,500 every single month cash. That's like a very specific. How many sales would need to happen within your business to get that? Okay, that's specific. Okay, not just I want more money. Cool, here's $1. Now you've got more money. Okay, you need to be 100% clear on the specifics of what you want and when you want it by. Okay, the game is not just about hitting the goal, it's about who you become in order to achieve the goal. This is where most people fuck up. They're focusing on the end game and the end goal, and they're not focused on who they need to become, and not even so much who you need to become. Who do you need to be? What version of you do you need to show up as in order to achieve this goal? And that version of you is already within you. You don't have to become it. It's just stepping into it, and it's just letting go of the bullshit that's stopping you from having access to it. So, exercise number 1 I'm going to want you to do here. Okay, so write down a definition of what financial freedom is for you. Don't write what other people think. Write what financial freedom truly means to you and you alone. Okay, make it very personal and write it down in a very powerful way, as if you've already created it. Okay, so I want you to write it down in present tense. Okay, you've already got it. I am. I have. Okay, not in the future, 6 months, 12 months from now. Write it as if you're there, you're living it, you've already created it. What is financial freedom to you? What does it truly mean to you? Okay, what does it feel like? What is your internal dialogue like now? What is your beliefs, your characteristic traits, your identity? Okay, what do you look like? How do you behave? What's your physical kind of demeanor and presence now? What's the tonality like in your voice? You know, what do people feel when they're around you now that you're this version that makes this much money? Okay, so that's what you want to do. Write down a definition of financial freedom. Make it very personal, what it truly means to you. Write it down in present tense, that you've already created it. I am this, I have this. What does it feel like? What's your internal dialogue like? And what do you look like? Okay, so we've got the emotions, the mental, and the physical. Exercise 2, you need to get clear on exactly what it is you want and the cost of your dream lifestyle. Okay, look, the reality is, if you haven't taken the time to price up what you want, then you've never considered actually having it. Okay, it's just a fantasy. Okay, so for that, you go and you do our dream lifestyle design and your product roadmap. Okay, so exactly the cost of what it costs you to live your dream life. Okay, and then you do the product roadmap, so you reverse engineer it all the way back to how many new leads you need to generate on a monthly basis. Okay, and then you make your declaration and you set a date for when this is to be achieved. Okay, so this will be achieved within the next 9 months. Okay, by Q3 of, so what we're on now, February 8th, for example. So maybe it's a 9-month goal for you. So whatever it is, you set the date. By this point, I'll be making this much money, living this life, and this will be the dream that I'm living at that current moment. Then what you need to do is you complete the highest version self. Okay, so you're going to go and you're going to do our closed eye process, and you're going to, go through it. And you're really going to step into the version of you that has whatever that dream life amount is. And you're going to go through that visualization process, and you're going to feel it. You're going to expand on it. You're going to go there. Everything about it. You're going to live that fucking experience, okay? And you're going to feel it in every cell of your body. Once you come out of that, you then have your affirmations that you've got. Okay, so the affirmations we had earlier on in this training, and then you're going to repeat each affirmation 10 times over out loud. Okay, and with conviction and with emotion. Okay, not I can attract anything that I want. It's like, I can attract anything I fucking want. Like, that's how I say my things. Okay, so I'm saying it with conviction, I'm saying it with belief. Okay, but you repeat each affirmation 10 times over. Okay, so if you've got 6 affirmations, you're going to be saying, each affirmation 10 times over. So that's 60 affirmations. You do that 5 times a day, 60, 120, 240. So it's 300 affirmations around money every single day. If you've got 10 affirmations, you do the math, okay? So you will do, so the highest version self-visualization and your affirmations, you will do each of those. So there's a 5-minute visualization, and it takes about 3 minutes to do the affirmations. So it's going to take you 8 minutes each time. You're going to do that 5 times a day, okay? So every 3 hours on average that you're awake, okay? And you feel the emotions, and you literally are going to speak your dream life into existence, and you show up as your highest version self, and you just trust it will happen. Okay, so really lengthy training here, but I hope you understand now the significance of knowing what your current reality is, understanding the money programming that you have, being able to shift your perception, being able to align you with your money desires, knowing how and why you should improve your relationship with money, obviously knowing why you need awareness first and foremost as the first step, knowing what your financial thermostat is and going and having a look and being present with that. Okay, looking at your bank and seeing it for yourself, then going through these 3 steps. Okay, so step 1, awareness. Okay, answering each of these questions very, very truthfully, very, very clearly. Then step 2, around creating the understanding of where it came from, your parents. Okay, step 3 is around the disassociation. Okay, so disassociating yourself from it and just seeing how ridiculous it is, and getting, like I said, distancing yourself from side that, externalizing it from yourself. And then step 4 is about the declaration. Okay, who you want to be, how much money you're going to be making. Okay, creating your affirmations. Okay, and not just saying them, but feeling them. Okay, and then this is how you start to bring it all together. Okay, so what's the exact amount? Okay, you're going to get these answers by doing exercise 2. Okay, but exercise 1 is writing down exactly what your definition of financial freedom is, making it very, very personal and writing it in a very powerful way as if it's already been created. Okay, then step 2 is you're going to go and complete our dream lifestyle design and your product roadmap. You're then going to go and do our closed eye process, and you're going to get very clear on who your highest version self is, and you're going to do that visualization 5 times a day, 5 minutes each time, and then you're going to have those affirmations that you're going to repeat 10 times over. Okay, you do that for a 6 to 8 week period, and you do not fall off, and you stay committed to this. I fucking promise you something significant will happen within your life, okay, financially, because you are literally going to be reprogramming your subconscious and your belief system that actually, in a way that aligns you not with just some vague nonsense, but very, very specific. Like, what is the numbers for your dream life? The house, the car, the trips, the travels, the team, the experiences, what you're doing with your family, like whatever it is. Okay, getting clear on the dream lifestyle design, then making the declaration of when this is going to be achieved by, and then you do the highest version self, and you have the affirmations, and you do this shit 5 times each. Okay, so 5 times a day for each of these. Okay, you do that, and you trust the process, and you trust it will happen, and you show up as this version of you. Okay, with the beliefs, with the habits, with the identity, with the physical presence, okay, with the energy. You're not bullshitting. You're not going out saying, hey, yeah, I'm making 50k a month at the moment. You're not. You're embodying the version of you that actually aligns you to the money that you want to make. Okay, and then again, repeating your affirmations with emotion. Okay, because that's how you start to create new beliefs, elevated emotion around specific things. Okay, so very lengthy training, I know, but if you want to understand your blueprint, if you want to change your financial destiny, then I strongly urge you to take this very, very seriously. Complete it in its entirety. Do not half-ass this, go deep with it, because the only way you're ever going to align yourself to the things that you want to do with your life and the money that you want to make and the things that you want to accomplish is by aligning yourself to your financial destiny, okay? And you've got to start to identify and understand what your financial blueprint is and how you can start to increase your financial thermostat, okay? And you go through this, do the exercises, and just commit to doing the work. And I promise you, one day you'll just open your eyes and you will be living the life that you want to be living, earning the money that you want to be making, okay?